Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And he's got Moncrief. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, it was Dorrance Armstrong. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Bortles trying the option to the right. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. Well, of course, you want to find the end zone, but, you go on the road, you get 3 points. I think you take it.
Yeah, pretty good start to the day for them, don't you think? Right? You go out there, get the 3 points. Now, look, it's not going to silence this crowd, but it might take a little bit of steam out of them right off the top.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
He navigates, he manipulates, he cycles through progressions with laser-like focus, and he can make any tough throw that you need because he'll stand in the pocket and make it happen.
Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwan. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Calais Campbell on the stop. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Tempo. Hey, 4 down.
On second down, here's Luck. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
I'm putting a spotlight on Jalen Ramsey, who was an All-Pro for the first time in 2017 at cornerback. But I remember him coming out of Florida State, and people couldn't decide, was he a safety? Was he a corner? Did you use him at both spots? His ability to diagnose plays, his ability to control receivers at the line of scrimmage at his size and then run with them downfield, I think he's going to be a fixture in the Pro Bowl for years to come.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm. And
smart. Valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. A first down carry for Smith. He's to the 10. That good for 22 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Back to throw, Luck. This will be caught at about the 5. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
So it's challenge time. The referee's tablet coming out. And the big question, Charles, did that football break the plane to the goal line?
They just need any part of the ball to cross the goal line in order for it to count. And remember, it's got to be indisputable, though. Sometimes we think it's going to be there. We can't really find it on the tablet. So we'll see what the final call is going to be.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jameis Olawale, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now back onto the field. Here comes the Cowboys defense. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half, some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Green 80.
Bortles now to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 65 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. Right, 622.
Now it's Lott. On the move to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47. So oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Yeah, boy. That's our ball. Every time. Keep putting that ball on the ground.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance?
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field to try and get up and get it. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Bortles. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there at 22.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now T.J. Yeldon, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. T.J. Yeldon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Luck on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Cowboys on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Luck. And a third down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The open man is Smith. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. On the run, Darkwan. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, Luck. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, and his first carry of the game right there, he had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. To throw is Love. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. That's a 6'8", 300-pound man out of the U, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, and he came from Arizona to Jacksonville and didn't just bring that frame with him. He brought 14.5 sacks as well and created a new city within their city, now known as Saxon.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score, and the Cowboys are in for 6. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. It makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Option right, it's Luck. He'll pitch it back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
It's complete. Right side to Benjamin. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Luck now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To the air again. Luck. He finds Coleman. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and makes creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the run, Luck going to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now from Andrew Luck. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Now the try here for the point after. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Bortles. He goes underneath for Yeldon. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. Bortles now on 1st down. A throw left side complete to his receiver Westbrook. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. From midfield, here's Bortles. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And how about the start so far, Charles? 3 first-half touchdown passes.
And that's how you generate excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. On the return is Jordan Lewis. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. So we've reached halftime in a while. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Calais Campbell, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
They go play action here on first down. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Kevin Dodd leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Block. Throw left side complete. That's Coleman. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They snap it to Lott. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now a first down throw. Lott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Lott. And his throw is going to be incomplete. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And it'll bring up third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And that's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Throwing again is Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Open man right side is Shark. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down. Bortles now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Bortles. That is caught at the 7. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And here's Lewis. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out, and the Jags grab it. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit and not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll give it to him up the middle. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
He'll get it up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Here's Bortles to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now Luck. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. They're going to go. It's Luck. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4 840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. 30. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Orleans Darkwa with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. So now here's Luck as his guys will go for 2 here. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown.
An unsuccessful attempt at the 2-point conversion. And it was a triple option play, and they chose option 1, handing it to the fullback. And that's not normal.
And sometimes you just miss your read key, right?
Yeah, I think so. And sometimes they actually call that, thinking that maybe everyone will bypass the fullback going out to the tailback or the quarterback. But in this case, they overwhelmed him and stopped him.
Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Bortles will try again on second down. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Bortles going to give the Yeldon. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A gain of 3, second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And that is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And now here come the Cowboys. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Shrugs him off. And another tackle broken. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's Darkwa, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. His throw caught at about the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Third touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back in.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Malik Jackson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. On second down, here's Luck. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. And incomplete. The contact made the ball run free and brings up fourth down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Flush to his right. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. Off of play action. Luck. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Back to throw. Luck. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Color. 12.
Throwing on third down. Luck. Going deep this time for Miller. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme air.
And the ball is knocked out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, That puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Well, the fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3-and-out, and they should be able to set up their guys with great field position, probably near midfield or better.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see that they make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Going up top for Miller. That's going to be caught. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. 52 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They begin with a run by Yeldon. Room here to run. Muscling free near the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Offense.
And that'll set him back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And an alley to run. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And it'll make it 2nd down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now Bortles will give to Yeldon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for Dallas, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.